In the novel A Record of a Mortal's Journey to Immortality, Han Li's 8 masters are almost all connected by self-interest. Which one truly cared for him? The protagonist, Han Li, gradually ascends from a mortal to the pinnacle of immortality, each step inseparable from the guidance of various masters. However, on this long path of cultivation, pure master-disciple affection is a luxury more often. It's a matter of mutual exploitation intertwined with self-interest. Today, let's delve into the 8 teachers on Han Li's path to immortality and explore who, amidst these complex relationships, offered the most genuine sincerity to Han Li. 8th, Mu Qing, a brief transmission driven by self-interest. As one of the 4 great demon kings of the abyss, Mu Qing's encounter with Han Li was a meticulously planned scheme. At their first meeting, Mu Qing was attracted to Han Li's powerful physique, forged through numerous trials, intending to capture him for her own purposes. However, upon discovering the rare evil-repelling divine thunder within Han Li's body, her plans changed. The beginning of this master-disciple relationship was filled with calculation. Mu Qing brought Han Li deep into the abyss, ostensibly to teach him the thunder sacrifice technique, but in reality, she was laying the groundwork for her treasure-hunting plan in the Styx River land. During the teaching process, Mu Qing indeed demonstrated the knowledge and cultivation of a nascent soul-stage demon king, offering many unique insights into Han Li's cultivation, especially in the application of lightning magic, allowing Han Li to reach new heights in his control of the evil-repelling divine thunder. However, the essence of this master-disciple relationship was always a transaction. Mu Qing needed Han Li's evil-repelling divine thunder to achieve her own goals, while Han Li needed Mu Qing's power to establish himself in the abyss. It's worth noting that during their adventure in the Styx River land, Mu Qing's attitude towards Han Li gradually underwent a subtle change, from initial pure exploitation to occasional expressions of appreciation. This transformation, though subtle, added a touch of warmth to this otherwise cold relationship. 7th, the extreme yin ancestor A forced master-disciple relationship under power. The master-disciple relationship between the extreme yin ancestor and Han Li can be described as the most typical example of a forced bond. Within the Void Heaven Palace, Han Li attracted the attention of the extreme yin ancestor by displaying the blood jade spider. This demonic tycoon made no attempt to conceal his intentions, forcibly taking Han Li as his disciple, essentially using him as a tool to achieve his goals. This relationship was fraught with tension from beginning to end. The extreme yin ancestor never genuinely taught Han Li any cultivation methods, instead constantly guarding against any potential backlash from this disciple. However, fate is often ironic. It was precisely the extreme yin ancestor's forceful intervention that opened the door to the core area of the Void Heaven Palace for Han Li, allowing him to seize the most precious treasure of the chaotic star sea, the Void Heaven Cauldron, amidst the chaos. From another perspective, the extreme yin ancestor's existence also gave Han Li a profound understanding of the cruel reality of the cultivation world. From this master, Han Li learned an important lesson: in situations of unequal strength, forbearance and strategy are often more important than direct confrontation. This painful experience as master and disciple, ironically, became a crucial catalyst for Han Li's mental maturation. 6th, Qing Yuanzi, a master of transcending time and space. Qing Yuanzi's relationship with Han Li is arguably the most unique. The founder of the Qing Yuan sword technique ascended to the spirit realm before Han Li was even born, yet through his self-created cultivation method, he became one of Han Li's most important guides on his cultivation path. The Qing Yuan sword technique was not only the core cultivation method Han Li practiced in his early years, but it also laid a solid foundation for his swordsmanship. This technique accompanied Han Li through the long years from foundation establishment to nascent soul, with every breakthrough closely related to it. It wasn't until their reunion in the spirit realm that Qing Yuanzi appeared before Han Li in his physical form. At this time, Qing Yuanzi, because of his disciple Yuan Yao, showed considerable care for Han Li. He not only guided Han Li through the bottleneck of the integration stage, but also provided valuable advice on crucial matters such as cultivating the gold-eating insects and obtaining the milk of the Styx River. It is particularly worth mentioning that Qing Yuanzi's help to Han Li was often subtle, providing necessary support while preserving Han Li's space for independent growth. This teacher-student relationship, characterized by both mentorship and friendship, makes it exceptionally precious. 5th, Li Huiyuan. Though initially selfish, he provided true protection. Looking back on Han Li's cultivation journey, Li Huiyuan can be considered the first person to truly provide him with the protection of his sect. As a core formation elder of Huangfeng Valley, Li Huiyuan's initial motivation for taking Han Li as his disciple was indeed self-serving. He coveted the spiritual herbs Han Li possessed. However, beyond self-interest, Li Huiyuan truly fulfilled his responsibilities as a master. During Han Li's early years in Huangfeng Valley, Li Huiyuan provided him with a relatively safe cultivation environment, allowing him to cultivate peacefully amidst the intrigue and power struggles of the cultivation sects. Even more commendable was Li Huiyuan's impartiality in his teaching, allowing Han Li to choose suitable cultivation methods and providing guidance at crucial points in his cultivation. While this teaching wasn't a complete sharing of knowledge, it was an immense help to Han Li, who was only at the foundation establishment stage at the time. Li Huiyuan's ultimate death on the battlefield brought a tragic end to this master-disciple relationship. In his final moments, he displayed the integrity expected of a righteous cultivator. This spiritual influence is perhaps more precious than any transmission of cultivation techniques. Fourth, the Celestial Beast Guide on the Path to the Spirit Realm. The appearance of the Celestial Beast marked a significant turning point in Han Li's cultivation journey. This being from the spirit realm not only helped Han Li complete his lack of metal in his for spiritual roots, but more importantly, opened the door to a wider world for him. Through his interactions with the Celestial Beast, Han Li systematically encountered the cultivation system of the spirit realm for the first time. The Celestial Beast's modifications to Han Li's cultivation methods not only resolved his long-standing cultivation bottlenecks but also laid a solid foundation for his subsequent development in the spirit realm. It is particularly worth mentioning that the Celestial Beast often tailored its teaching to Han Li's individual needs, creating cultivation plans most suitable for his unique spiritual root constitution. What makes this master-disciple relationship special is that the Heavenly Azure Sacred Beast's help to Han Li often transcends simple utilitarian considerations. During its guidance, it seems to value Han Li's growth potential more than immediate rewards. This long-term oriented approach to cultivation leaves a profound mark on Han Li's cultivation path. Third, the Great-Eared Monk, a destined legacy across time. The master-disciple relationship between the Great-Eared Monk and Han Li is arguably the most fateful in the entire work. Through the 3 soul transmigrations via the little green bottle, Han Li forged an inextricable bond with this long-deceased powerful being. During the first soul transmigration, Han Li merely overheard the Great-Eared Monk imparting his teachings to his disciple, yet he was able to open 8 immortal apertures, demonstrating the Great-Eared Monk's profound cultivation. During the second soul transmigration, Han Li witnessed firsthand the Great-Eared Monk's divine power of Dharma words of heaven and earth, which had a revolutionary impact on his understanding of cultivation. In his third soul transmigration, when Han Li's original body traveled to a time before the destruction of the True Word sect, the Big-Eared Monk had already foreseen the arrival of this 7th disciple. This master-disciple relationship transcending time and space seemed preordained. The Big-Eared Monk's teachings to Han Li were completely unreserved. From the essence of cultivation techniques to the methods of using supernatural powers, he imparted everything. Even more remarkably, the Big-Eared Monk seemed to have seen through the mysteries of time and space. His teachings often precisely aligned with Han Li's future cultivation needs. This unique master-disciple experience not only greatly accelerated Han Li's realm advancement but also led to a qualitative leap in his cultivation philosophy. Second, Dr. Mo, a cultivation guide with both righteous and evil aspects. If we were to discuss the teacher who had the most profound influence on Han Li's path to cultivation, Dr. Mo would undoubtedly be the answer. This physician from the 7 Mysteries sect, although initially taking Han Li as a disciple with the intention of seizing a body for rebirth, inadvertently opened the door to the world of cultivation for Han Li. During his time at the 7 Mysteries sect, Dr. Mo spared no effort in nurturing Han Li. He not only provided Han Li with various precious medicinal herbs to temper his body but also taught him cultivation techniques like the Everlasting Spring technique. Although these efforts were ultimately preparation for possession, they objectively laid a solid foundation for Han Li's cultivation. Especially in the mortal realm where spiritual energy was scarce, without Dr. Mo's guidance, Han Li, with his pseudo-spiritual root aptitude, would likely have never even touched the threshold of cultivation in his entire life. This master-disciple relationship, fraught with intrigue, also made Han Li realize the cruel nature of the cultivation world early on. From Dr. Mo, Han Li learned an important lesson. On the path of cultivation, one must always be vigilant, for even the closest people may harbor malicious intentions. This lesson accompanied Han Li throughout his cultivation journey, helping him escape danger on numerous occasions. First, Great Evolution Divine Lord, a lifelong confidant, both teacher and friend. Among all of Han Li's master-disciple relationships, the Great Evolution Divine Lord is undoubtedly the most special. This bond, beginning by chance, ultimately blossomed into a profound friendship, a relationship that transcended mere mentorship. The Great Evolution Divine Lord's assistance to Han Li far exceeded the ordinary master-disciple scope, encompassing multiple areas including cultivation techniques, weapon crafting, and puppetry. In cultivation techniques, the Great Evolution Divine Lord not only perfected Han Li's cultivation system but also imparted to him a unique method of cultivating divine sense. In weapon crafting, he guided Han Li in forging the heaven-reaching spiritual treasure, the Three-Flame Fan, a magical artifact that repeatedly saved Han Li from peril on his subsequent cultivation journey. The instruction in puppetry further enhanced Han Li's life-saving abilities. However, the most precious aspect was not these tangible forms of help, but rather the trust and understanding that gradually developed between the Great Evolution Divine Lord and Han Li. From initial mutual testing to later heartfelt confiding, the Great Evolution Divine Lord became one of the few people Han Li could completely trust on his cultivation path. Even after the Great Evolution Divine Lord's passing, his legacy continues to influence Han Li's cultivation. The preciousness of this master-disciple relationship lies in its transcendence of mere exchange of benefits, showcasing a rare glimpse of humanity in the cultivation world. In the final stages of his life, the Great Evolution Divine Lord truly regarded Han Li as his successor and friend. This genuine affection is exceptionally precious in the cruel world of cultivation. How deep is the bond between master and disciple? Which is genuine? Looking at Han Li's 8 teachers, each left a unique mark on him at different stages of his cultivation. If judged by the sincerity of their contributions and the depth of their help, the Great Evolution Divine Lord should be considered the foremost. Not only was his guidance the most comprehensive in all aspects, but more importantly, he established an emotional bond with Han Li that transcended self-interest. Secondly, there is the Great-Eared Monk. Although their time together was brief, his unreserved teaching and concern for Han Li's fate demonstrated the responsibility expected of a teacher. While Dr. Mo's initial intentions were not good, he objectively opened the door to cultivation for Han Li, and his role in his enlightenment is indelible. In the cruel world of cultivation, master-disciple relationships are often entangled with interests. However, it is precisely in such an environment that emotions transcending utilitarianism become especially precious. Han Li's experience as a master and disciple tells us that although the path of cultivation is against the will of heaven, the brilliance of humanity has never been extinguished along this path. Those sincere guidance and assistance are like beacons in the long night, illuminating the path of cultivators. Do you, the readers, agree with this ranking? Feel free to share your insights in the comments section. Let's explore this journey of cultivation full of opportunities and enlightenment together.